So last year, I read the ranked best candies. Mm-hmm. And apparently, I have no memory of this, but apparently I said that I wanted to see them next year. So one of our listeners wrote in to remind me that I said that, and she looked up the list for me.
Oh my God, how fun.
Like,
she just did all the hard work for you.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me. Today's episode is supported by Wireframe, an original podcast from Adobe.
Each episode features one small business owner. We pair them with a mentor who has built their own successful brand and then a designer to help them execute a plan to solve their problem. Mentors this season include Chris Du, Phil Wang of Wong Fu, and so many more. Designers include Skessa Garbutt, Elaine Lopez, Brandon Gross, and Kyle Webster. This season features episodes like a realtor learning how to make engaging educational content for homebuyers on Instagram and TikTok.
An episode I checked out recently and was a big fan of is Wireframe Season 5, Episode 1, which is Courtney Quinn and Brandon Gross help Will on a whim rethink his website. If you guys have anything to do with working with websites and all of the intricate things that go with it, I highly recommend this episode. And if you want to check out more of their content, you can search for Wireframe in your podcast player. We'll also include a link in the show notes. A huge thank you to Wireframe for their support. Today's episode is brought to you by Indeed. You know, there's a fantastic person out there who will improve your business. The trick is finding them. For a hiring partner that helps you reach new heights, you need Indeed.
Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates with the right skills when you can do it all with Indeed. As you guys know, I have my own small business, and hiring is something that I dread. Something I love the most about Indeed is that it makes hiring so much easier because it all happens in one place. Matching with a candidate is easy enough, but then when you have to schedule your interview, your video calls, your phone calls, it can get very complicated. But with Indeed, it is so easy. There's no hoops to jump through. Indeed's virtual interview tool means that there's nothing to download, so all you have to do is click and talk.
Indeed knows when you're growing your own business, you have to make every dollar count. That's why when you sponsor a job, you only pay for quality applications from resumes in our database matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/unsolicited to start hiring now. Just go to Indeed.com/unsolicited. Indeed.com/unsolicited. Terms and conditions apply. Cost per application pricing not available for everyone. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Today's episode is brought to you by Casetify. I don't know about you guys, but I am the queen of dropping my phone, and I have shattered many a screen.
Many a screen?
But you know what?
Many a phone.
I haven't since I started using Casetify.
No, you haven't.
And that's on live. So if you're like me and you have been searching for the perfect case that's not ugly and bulky, but adds protection, sustainability, and style, Casetify has got you covered.
Casetify's goal is about creating a case that's not only sleek and stylish, but also protective. Engineered with EchoShock, Casetify's latest protection tech, their newest iPhone 14 Impact series, is 20% more protective and just as slim. Their cases are optimized for protection up to 11.5 feet at 5 times the military standard, withstanding drops of 130 times. But it's not just about protection. They've got a large range of prints and designs created by their diverse community of artists so that there's something for everyone. You can also design your own customized cases, so the options are truly endless. I've made my own case before. It is so much fun. It's like DIYing your case. You can layer stickers, you can pick out different colors. It is so much fun.
Get one of the most protective, cool-looking, and environmentally friendly phone cases the internet has to offer. Get 15% off by using our code 15advice. That's 15ADVICE. That's 15% off at casetify.com with code 15advice, or use the link in the description. Do you want to help guess? So let's do worst to best. Number 10. You know this one.
Worst Halloween candy?
Yeah, you know this one. Everyone hates this one. You know this one.
Tootsie Roll?
No.
You said
Candy
I know.
corn.
Oh.
Come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also
9
like
is
candy corn.
Tootsie
Roll.
Pop. Tootsie Pop. 8, which is this one is so shocking to me. I'll give you a hint. Hungry?
Snickers?
Yes. Isn't that shocking?
I feel like Snickers is an excellent Halloween candy.
I think so too. Then 7 is Hershey Kisses, which have never done much for me.
I that shouldn't even be in Halloween candy, in my opinion.
6, I'm highly offended, is Sour Patch Kids.
That's
Ridiculous.
6?
6, come on. 5th is Hot Tamales. Not a fan.
I would put Hot Tamales towards the bottom.
Same.
I'd switch that out with Snickers.
Same. 4, again, not a huge fan. Starburst.
I mean, no. For Halloween?
Right?
We're talking Halloween specifically.
This list is enraging me. 3rd is M&M's.
Okay.
Classic. 2nd is, do you have a guess?
For second, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
No.
Reese's is first.
Yes.
Second is
Taste the Rainbow.
Skittles.
Skittles. Interesting,
I agree. Reese's belongs on top.
Yes.
Chocolate and peanut butter, you can't go wrong.
I think I would go Reese's, Snickers, Sour Patch, M&M's. Oof. Hershey Kisses, I guess. And then, I don't know, probably Hot Tamale, Tootsie Pop, candy corn.
Yeah. Top 3, I would go Reese's.
You're
Sour
not
Patch.
a Reese's.
I love Reese's.
No, but you say Reese's and not Reese's? How have I never known this about you?
Reese's?
You're one of those. Yeah, it's a personality trait.
Evidently.
Michaela, do you say Reese's or Reese's?
Reese's, I think.
Yeah, because she's normal.
Reese's.
No one says Reese's. The only other person I know that says Reese's is Nicole from Kentucky. She says Reese's.
Reese's.
What up, Nicole?
I would go Reese's, Sour Patch Kids, M&M's.
Tea. I didn't
But
know
I'm a
that.
chocolate girl, so
Yeah, you
the fact that the Sour Patch is even up there says a lot.
True. Well, thank you so much let me just make sure I can say this. Yeah, Danielle. And it was funny because she started it with, hey, Tash or Ashrin. She was making us a couple names.
Ashrin.
Ashrin, I feel like, is a vibe, but Tash is also dope.
Nah, Ashrin
What
all
up,
the
Tash?
way. Ashrin.
Yeah, but thank you,
Ashrin.
Danielle, for
like
reminding me and doing all the work for me.
I know. Taryne we didn't even have to try.
I'm the laziest person, so I really appreciate that.
Oh my God. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Unsolicited Advice October series.
Yes.
This is our fourth
Is it?
episode. I think so.
Oh, yeah. And so we have 2 more.
Yeah.
It's already we're more than halfway done.
Oh my
It's
God.
just
This
sad.
is our 4th episode in the October series. If you are just joining us, we have been doing spooky stories for the entire month of October. And it is worth it for you to go back a few weeks
Yes.
and listen to all of the episodes because they are so good. These are stories that you guys actually send us, stuff that you've experienced or someone close to you has experienced. You wrote it in. So that's what I think makes it extra scary.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's not just a spooky story. It's not just a ghost story told by the fire. This is something that our listeners, you guys, send us. And there's something very unnerving about that.
I would fully agree. And it's just I think it's the time of year, but it's also just so different from our regular content. So I think
100%.
it's so much fun. My
Such a
brother's
contrast.
girlfriend, Julia, she came over the other day and she was like, oh my gosh, I listened. I don't think she had listened
In the past?
to I don't expect my friends and family to listen to our podcast often, but I don't think she had really listened to October series before.
Got it. Which
So-
she likes. I remember talking to her
Yes.
that she likes this kind of
So
stuff.
they were driving. They were driving somewhere where it was far, and I think they listened to an episode, and she was like, I am hooked. She's backtracking through all the years, and she's like, they're so good. But it's
you're
funny
gonna
because
love them.
she just listened to the one that was about my brother.
Oh,
Remember the
yeah.
clown mask and the bunny mask? So she just listened to that one and then she's like, oh my gosh, like I want to listen to it with him now and see if he like remembers it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So all this to say, send these episodes to everyone you know because October series just hits different.
It
you know?
really does. It's the best, most happiest time of the year. Also, if you watch us on YouTube, you already know, but we are sporting our merch, October Series 22 merch. It is basically our artwork in skeleton form. It is us in skeleton form.
I look pretty hot as a skeleton. My head is a lot larger than yours, though.
I look very...
Why does your skeleton look so feminine and mine looks like very masculine?
It's because my leg is up. It's really emphasizing the hips is what it is.
But don't I look like a man skeleton?
No, not at all.
Don't be nice.
Not at all.
I do. I do.
But like all skeletons look the same.
No, your skeleton looks super feminine.
It's because I'm on my tippy toe.
I look like a straight up male head.
I was like, I didn't really think about this before, but like, why am I on my tippy toe? Oh, because I'm in a heel.
Oh.
But your feet look flat.
I was in heels too.
It's the little things you don't catch until you're sitting right in front of it staring at it. But you guys have been crushing the merch game.
Yes.
You guys have bought so much, and it means so much to us because you're fully supporting us.
No, literally.
We wouldn't be here without you guys. So thank you so much for showing up and showing out with the merch. It is still available. It is not too late to buy. So hop on over. We've been pushing it really hard on our Instagram, which, of course, if you aren't following us on our Instagram, follow us there. We've also been really crushing our promos this year. As you guys know, every year we post very stupid, very silly promo videos to promote our Halloween series. And this is when Taryne and I get dressed up in a silly costume and do something goofy.
Yeah.
And we've just been having a blast with them. So definitely follow us on Instagram, if anything, just for that.
No, literally.
Because it's a good follow right now because we're having so much fun with this October spooky season.
Yes. I was going to say another reminder and then I totally forgot.
Also, if you're sitting on I was going to jump in, but I'll stop.
No, Ash, no. I was going to say, we know, like, we've seen numbers. We know, like, quite a few of you have bought in the sweatshirt, but only, like, a few people have tagged us and stuff.
Yeah, do better.
And it's like, we just want to see. So
we just wanna see
send
your
us
pretty
photos of you in our merch
faces.
or post a story and tag us or whatever.
Tag us in the
because we just want to see. It helps us to, like, I feel like the high of the live show has like worn down a little bit. Mm-hmm. So like we need a fix of just like that we're talking to real people and not just each other in a room.
Yes, please. And also, if you have a scary story to share, it is not too late. We still have 2 more episodes to record, and we couldn't do that without you guys. So if you have a story, submit it now.
Yeah.
You hear me? I'm talking to you. Submit it.
Submit it now. Back now.
How you been, Taryne?
You know.
Having
great. Yeah, nothing to report. I was like slightly depressed this weekend. You know, as we do.
It comes, it goes, it comes again.
I couldn't, but I also think part of me wouldn't like leave my apartment.
Yes.
So I just
very specific place.
Yeah, I had this like moment where like Saturday, I kept trying to push myself to get out and do stuff. And then I finally hit this place where I was like, it's not happening. So instead of this cycle of like making yourself feel like crap because you can't overcome this, why don't you just embrace it?
Lean into it, yeah.
So I did, and I was intentional. I baked cookies. I turned all my like lights, LED lights on, my floating candles, and I like cocooned and watched a movie.
I forgot you have the Harry Potter floating candles in your apartment.
I can't wait for you to come over Tuesday night because it's such a vibe. So that was like what I did all day Saturday, and then it definitely carried over to all day Sunday. But it's okay because I was just like, obviously, like this is what you need. And then
now
today
we're back here Monday, out and about,
doing things,
getting our things done.
Yeah. What about you?
Oh, I had an incident.
Not the finger.
Guys, I have had a very long week of moving, unpacking, doing all those things. I wanted to have a family dinner at my place to make my place feel homey. My sister and boyfriend were there. We had we made a whole thing. Like we all were in charge of something. We had salmon. We had cauliflower. I can't speak. Cauliflower gnocchi and stuff like squash and whatever. It doesn't matter. We've been using
Apricot squash.
Yeah, I can't talk. I'm so sorry. We've been using this new set of cutting knives that I just got for my new place for everything. Like we used it all during cooking, and then we finished eating. We're like cleaning everything up. I'm doing the dishes, and I just barely grazed the knife against my finger. It was so sharp. It was all quick. It was a blur. It barely touched my skin. And then I was just like gushing blood and it would not stop. Oof. And I didn't need stitches. All I had to do, I ended up going to the emergency room. They just had to like glue it into place and then wrap it and kind of keep it there.
Ugh.
But like I kept saying it was fine, but like the bleeding wouldn't stop. Yeah. And I could feel my finger just like pulsing.
Oh gosh.
So I ended up at the ER and we got it taken care of. It was not that bad, but like it was just like, come on.
I've seen the cut. It's gnarly.
It was like, it's not a huge cut, but it was a significant cut.
But it's more than half of your finger. Yeah. So that's brutal.
I was just like, come on. But then so last night I was trying to edit. I'm behind on editing, and editing without your index finger
Dude,
is
your right
rough.
Index is one of like the key ones. Yeah.
It does everything. So I'm over here with like, my like middle and ring finger trying to make it work. I was trying to zoom in.
Yeah.
It was so hard. It was so hard.
You're going to be so good at doing like live long and prosper.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
I
was
can't
just
do it.
Trying to. So funny. But we survived.
I'm glad you're okay.
We're here to tell another scary story.
Yeah. That is your scary story.
Don't play with knives, kids. Yeah. What your parents have always said is in fact true.
Today's episode is supported by Wireframe, an original podcast from Adobe. This season of Wireframe is geared towards small business owners who handle all the branding, content design, and social on their own for their business.
Each episode features one small business owner. We pair them with a mentor who has built their own successful brand and then a designer to help them execute a plan to solve their problem. Mentors this season include Chris Dew, Courtney Quinn, aka Color Me Courtney, Hilton Carter, Phil Wang of Wong Fu, and so many more. Designers include Skessa Garbutt, Elaine Lopez, Brandon Gross, and Kyle Webster. This season features episodes like a realtor learning how to make engaging educational content for homebuyers on Instagram and TikTok, a coffee startup learning how to share their founder's story and add more personality to their content, and a content creator learning how to use color on his website to tell his story and move merchandise.
An episode I checked out recently and was a big fan of is Wireframe Season 5, Episode 1, which is Courtney Quinn and Brandon Gross help Will on a whim rethink his website. If you guys have anything to do with working with websites and all of the intricate things that go with it, I highly recommend this episode. And if you want to check out more of their content, you can search for Wireframe in your podcast player. We'll also include a link in the show notes. A huge thank you to Wireframe for their support. Today's episode is brought to you by Indeed. You know, there's a fantastic person out there who will improve your business. The trick is finding them. For a hiring partner that helps you reach new heights, you need Indeed.
Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates with the right skills when you can do it all with Indeed. Find top talent fast with Indeed's suite of powerful hiring tools like Indeed Instant Match, assessments, and virtual interviews. Hate waiting? Indeed's U.S. data shows over 80% of Indeed employers find quality candidates whose resume on Indeed matches their job description the moment they sponsor a job. As you guys know, I have my own small business, and hiring is something that I dread. Something I love the most about Indeed is that it makes hiring so much easier because it all happens in one place. Matching with a candidate is easy enough, but then when you have to schedule your interview, your video calls, your phone calls, it can get very complicated. But with Indeed, it is so easy. There's no hoops to jump through. Indeed's virtual interview tool means that there is nothing to download, so all you have to do is click and talk.
Indeed knows when you're growing your own business, you have to make every dollar count. That's why when you sponsor a job, you only pay for quality applications from resumes in our database matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/unsolicited to start hiring now. Just go to Indeed.com/unsolicited. Indeed.com/unsolicited. Terms and conditions apply. Cost per application pricing not available for everyone. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Well,
You got the
to
opener,
start everything
yeah?
off, we have a good tearing it up for you guys because we love tearing it ups, and you guys have some pretty funny like October Halloween themed ones. So
Also, it's funny because we've talked about this before. Me and Ash, we both bring our story, like same as our regular episodes, but the only thing we'll say is like subject matter, right? So like regular episodes, I'll be like, what's yours about?
yeah,
She'll be like, relationship. So sometimes I'm like, oh, then I'm going to bring one that's about like
career,
a job or whatever.
Yeah.
So like sometimes that's as much as we'll like talk to
Communicate.
each other about. But on October series, the question is it real or supernatural? Like
real life
there's no other category.
or supernatural.
So Ash said supernatural, and I was like, crap, because mine's supernatural. And then she was like, well, I have a short that's supernatural. So we both looked at each other. We were like,
Let's
do
do
a
the
tearing it up. Like,
let's switch
just,
it up a little bit. Otherwise, it's a little too heavy.
It's
Otherwise, no one will be sleeping
Two supernatural
tonight.
stories is like, that's it.
Yeah,
that's
it's a
the
lot.
cat.
It's a
you know?
lot. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into today's Tearing It Up. Dear Taryne and Ashley. Hey, and happy Halloween. I would like to remain anonymous, but for this story, you can call me Autumn.
Ah, love.
The story I'm writing is a Halloween Tearing It Up, which I will call My Neighbor is a Killer Clown.
What is with the clowns?
I couldn't come up with a better title, LOL. Hope you enjoy. And we get into it. It was a crisp, cool morning in October of my freshman year of high school back in 2016. During this time, there was a thing known as the Great Clown Scare that was happening in my town. This was basically a series of rumors and, quote, sightings of both stalkers and people dressed up as clowns.
Okay, is this what we were talking about last
I think
week?
so. And that's why I was like, whoa, that's
Dude,
weird.
That's why our world is so messed up, because all it takes is one like news story about people dressing as clowns and scaring people,
people
and then
run with it.
Everyone who has just that slight thing that's broken inside of them is like, I'm gonna do that too.
Every
And it
broken
spreads.
person goes and orders
Literally.
an Amazon clown
Because
costume.
when I hear that news story, I'm like, I'm locking my door and staying inside.
Yeah,
I'm not
100%.
like, okay, I'm Amazoning a clown mask. Dear Lord. Anyways, okay, continue.
She continues, dressed as clowns. Not the carnival kind, but the bloody, creepy clowns whose image is burned into your mind the second you see them, harassing and chasing people across the United States. At first, it was only a rumor that we assumed was just some students spreading a story about something they saw on YouTube to cause stupid drama and panic in our school. But over time, the rumor eventually made the news, causing for concern. My parents had, of course, sat me down with my younger brother in response to the news and hysteria going around and rediscussed the safety measures we were to take if anything out of the sort were to happen. They, of course, told us not to worry about it at all, but of course, I would be lying to say I wasn't on edge regarding the entire thing, with the stories spreading like wildfire in my school, and being that I particularly was not a fan of clowns.
Yeah,
Who is?
Who is? Their face, they have a smile painted on their face.
Yeah.
But they're not happy. That's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing.
That's again, we've said this a couple episodes ago, but that smile movie, I can't. Like,
Oh my
that,
God.
That not their smile gets me.
I saw a clip on TikTok, And I do this thing
the
where
filter?
I'm like, you're fine. You can watch it. No, those are funny though.
Those are funny.
But it was a scene from it where like she's talking to a person and that person, she's like, no, because they start like a smile starts
smiling.
forming. And I was just like, nope, I'm not brave enough. I can't.
Did you
clip.
see the videos of the marketing that they did?
I was telling you about
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
So good.
It's so
good.
brilliant. Yeah.
Anyways, during this time, I still took the bus to school, and my bus stop location was about a 5-minute walk from me. So it wasn't far, but it was dimly lit and had a part of a woods and creek in the nearby neighborhoods, which always creeped me out at night. I was on my way out the door thinking it was just a normal day, backpack in one hand and my breakfast in the other. Since I was always running late, I tended to eat on the go.
Me.
Yeah. As I opened the door of my garage and felt the cool air hit me, that was when it all happened. I look out onto the dimly lit street to see a tall figure dressed in all black whose face was hidden, but based on their hood, appeared to be staring in my direction. I felt the goosebumps forming and the panic set in when I yelled out, "Hello? Can I help you?" But no response.
Oh, God.
I felt the feeling sink into my chest and my heart began to race as I yelled out again, "Sir, do you need something?" But no answer. I see the figure slowly begin to turn, to move, and it was at that moment I lost my cool, ran back inside, only to be greeted by my mother. As the panic took over, I explained what had happened. As I was overwhelmed with anxiety, she immediately sat me down on the couch, told me to stay there, and promptly walks outside. She goes outside, and I'm sitting on our family room couch trying to calm down as the minutes roll by. She finally comes back in for me and explains what had happened. That the black figure was not a killer clown or a stalker or anything of the sort, but rather a schoolboy who rides my bus who was just waiting for a friend outside our driveway. He apparently had headphones in, so he did not hear me and had a black hoodie on because it was cold.
He was like unaware of the whole thing where she was like living a horror scene.
He's just listening to his music, zoned out. After hearing what had happened to me from my mother, who of course was livid at the obliviousness of the student with everything happening in town, apologized immediately for the entire situation. Being that I was still rattled, I did not end up having to walk the dimly lit path to the bus stop, but instead was dropped off at school by my mother once my nerves were calmed down, and I had to go about my day as if nothing happened to avoid utter embarrassment from my peers. Every Halloween, this memory comes back to me and gives me something to remember and laugh about over something that I thought was going to be so completely different. If you made it this far, thank you so much for reading my story, and thank you both for what you do, as I love not only your podcast, but your content, which I have been watching since around that time, that year of 2016. And if it makes it on the pod, I hope it gave everyone a good laugh during your October series before we dive into some spooky stories. Have a fantastic Halloween.
Ha! Good one.
So good.
Wow. Yeah, clowns, no. I can't. I cannot. There was a, without getting into it, because it was a traumatic period of my life, but there was a situation I had with a guy when I was in junior high. And it was just kind of like an obsession turned bad. It was like a bad situation. But one Halloween, he knew, like my friends all knew I was scared of clowns.
Right.
And so I went to a party with my friends. He came as like one of those terrifying, like blood dripping from the mouth, like clown masks. And he just stood in the back. Everywhere I went, he stood in like the background and would just stare at me the entire time. And I was like, in tears, like freaking out, but I just do not. No.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Just smack the mic. Okay. Shall we?
Oh, we absolutely shall.
Dear Lord, I just pray you protect each one of us.
Immediately goes into prayer.
Surround us all with your protection. In your name. Amen. Okay.
Yes and amen.
This story is called A Shocking End. Oh my God. I just got it. That's great. That's very clever. You'll get it.
Oh,
I didn't
shoot.
get it at first, but I just got it. Okay. Hi, Ash and Taryne. My name is Hannah, and
Hey,
yes,
Hannah.
you can say my name. I am so excited to share this story, and even if you don't read it on the pod, I can't wait to listen to all the other spooky stories. October series is an absolute favorite of mine. Oh, sorry. I'm just like making up stuff. October series is my absolute favorite time of the year because of you two. Let's get into the story.
Let's dive in.
Here comes the creepy music, y'all. Okay. Okay. My dad is in the oiled fields, so we moved around a lot when I was younger.
Oiled fields. It was funny.
Oiled fields.
In
My
the
dad
fields
is
full of
in
oil.
the oil field. Shut up. So we moved around a lot when I was younger. We lived in Oklahoma when I was about 8, and the house we moved into was absolutely gorgeous. Was an absolutely gorgeous 2-story home right on the corner of the street with a pool, garden, and huge yard for our dogs. But the house to the left was vacant. While talking to some neighbors, my mom casually brought it up, and all the neighbors went silent. They eventually said that it's known as the murder house. And
And you
calling
move.
the realtor.
And you move.
Yes,
You get a hotel for the rest of your stay, and you move.
absolutely. Because apparently the husband had murdered his wife there. My mom, not knowing what to say, kind of brushed it off and moved on to avoid an awkward situation. A few years later, a lovely couple bought the home, and we were so excited to have new neighbors. Years it was vacant. That's terrifying. We were excited to have new neighbors so we could stop being creeped out by the vacant home. A few weeks after they moved in, our neighbor said some weird stuff had been happening around the house, and it was to the point where she didn't feel comfortable being home alone while her husband was at work. We told her she was welcome to come over if she needed to, but she didn't say anything further than that. About a month later, we see them packing up all their stuff into a U-Haul truck.
Yep.
So we went over to check it out. Our neighbor was frantic, loading stuff into the truck, and tells us that someone pushed her down the stairs.
Oh my God, I got chills.
What the actual crap, dude? What the crap?
Ooh.
See, I don't like
I think I'm gonna cry.
because I can close my eyes and pretend that something's not there.
It's so different when, like, a lot of these stories, you see things, you hear things, nothing actually touches you. There's something about
you're telling me a ghost can lay hands on me? I'm out.
not
I'm
if you are covered by
out.
the blood of Christ.
Should we pray again? Okay.
I'm terrified.
I know. Okay. My mom asked what she meant, and she said she heard noises up in the attic late last night, and when she went to go check it out, she saw nothing. As she turned to walk down the stairs, someone shoved her, and that was the final straw, and they were leaving. Not too long after that, my dad got a call, and we had to move to Houston, Texas. Oh my God, I'm a celebrity in Houston, Texas. I've been on the
If
news.
you've watched the news
Fox
lately,
26 Houston. Just want to throw that out.
she's a famous Lego TikToker.
Thank you. When we got to our new house, we loved it and everything was great until it's always those words until, however, yeah.
But then, and that's when I knew.
Until things started happening. It started with small noises, like voices in the attic. It sounded like someone was rearranging furniture above us, but there was nothing but tubs and boxes up there. My brother and I would go up to check it out every once in a while, and of course, there was nothing. Then it started to get worse. My older brother and I had a Jack and Jill bathroom where they connect with 2 doors. So we would leave them open to see each other at night, so we weren't as scared.
Yeah.
My brother woke up one night to the sheets being yanked off of him. He casually says, "Hannah, stop messing with me, I'm tired," and pulls the covers back up. But it happens again. "Hannah, seriously, I said stop." He peeks over the edge of his bed to see nothing but the sheets on the floor. So he rolls over and looks through the bathroom door to see me sound asleep in bed.
No.
He ran in there to tell me what happened, and he slept in my room that night. Duh.
Yeah, no kidding. No
Duh.
kidding.
A little later, at 12 a.m. exactly, my bedroom door opened and my nightlight would turn off. This happened 3 nights in a row before I went to my dad and asked if he had been coming in my room at night. He said, of course not, and said it was probably just the AC kicking on at 12, and I probably had a power shortage. Luckily, we were
It's too
leaving
many
for a trip,
coincidences.
right? A trip to visit our grandparents a few nights later, so I was sitting on my brother's bed while he packed and we talked. He had a chest of drawers across... Chest of drawers. Wait. Is it called chest of drawers, not Chester drawers?
What? Did you say Chester?
What is it called? Chest of drawers?
Yeah.
It's not Chester drawers.
Chester, like the cat? No, Taryne, no.
I'm literally 35. I did not know that.
Chester
I thought it
drawers?
was Chester drawers.
Sweet Jesus.
embarrassing.
Chester drawers.
Chest of drawers. Wow. Okay.
Oh, honey.
He had a chest of drawers across. Ooh, excuse me. Across from his bed, where he stored most of his clothes. My mom comes upstairs and tells him to pick up his room before we leave after he's done packing. So he finishes packing, cleans, and we both take our suitcases downstairs. My mom yells from upstairs, "I told you to pick up your room." Confused, we both rush upstairs, and every drawer is open and clothes are sprawled out everywhere. That's fine, because my room's already a mess, so I wouldn't even notice.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm moving on.
This ghost is sassy.
Yeah. We looked at each other equally concerned and both said, "We promise it was clean when we left the room." My mom has had a lot of paranormal things happen to her in her life, so she said she believed us. Other things would happen, like my brother and I would both hear our names being called and come out saying, "Yes, sir," but no one was there. We would hear people talking in other rooms when we were home alone. Things being moved around or go missing, and our dogs would growl at nothing. My dad, who doesn't believe in those things, even woke up one night to see a tall man standing in the corner of his room. As he rushed to turn on the lamp, it was gone. So many things had happened at this point that there was no denying it. Luckily, my dad's work moved us back to Oklahoma, far from our old house in Oklahoma. Don't worry. So we moved.
Thank God.
Well, the ghost clearly followed them.
I mean, but they weren't being haunted before their neighbor was.
No, but the neighbor left and then they left. So I'm assuming he just jumped in with them because he was like, "I'm not going to sit in this house
down
for..."
and opened his arms like the other story.
Ew, I hope not. Dear God. Okay. A week after we moved out of our Houston house, we were supposed to go back and clean it before it got sold. My mom got extremely sick that week and we weren't able to go. That week, the house was struck by lightning exactly where my brother's bed was. I'm 20 years old now, and to this day, I still believe that God was cleansing that house of whatever was in there. Luckily, nothing else has happened, and we are all safe in a different state, far, far away from that house. Thank you for reading my story. I hope it gave you a good fright. I'll attach some photos of the burnt house for a little extra effect.
Yes, I love photos.
Your faithful listener, Hannah. Girl, are you ready for this? Because it's freaking intense. And we'll definitely have it up on YouTube, but also if you're just listening, go to our Instagram because we'll post these for sure. But
oh, it's destroyed.
Like you can
it's
see where the
fully
lightning
wrecked.
came through and hit. I'm assuming that's where his bed was.
Oh my God.
Isn't that insane?
Oh.
That's lightning. That's like the power of Jesus.
I mean, Yeah.
He destroyed him.
Smited.
Because all this stuff happened in the brother's room.
Yeah.
So he was obviously in there chilling.
Oh my God, whatever it was, yeah.
And Jesus said, zap.
Zap.
And that's why it's called a shocking end.
Oh my God.
I just
Got it. Yes. Yeah. Dear God.
Dude, I can't.
Oof.
I cannot.
That's
like,
another story of that we've gotten, like the second one where people have moved and it's followed them.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you do to like, I don't know.
I mean, at that point, I pray to God that never happens to me, but like if I moved and something was still going on, I would try everything.
Yeah.
I would call every old lady in the prayer circle at church to come every, once a week. I would sage the place. I would have the healers. I'd reach out to the healers.
They could come as long as I wasn't there. I don't want to see.
I'd have them clean.
Literally.
I would try everything because clearly something's connected to me. Like, that's what's weird.
Oh my God.
If you move, you're the common denominator.
I mean, because what are the odds that they would be next door to like an aggressive ghost?
Yeah.
And then they move to a different state and then happen to move into the house of one?
Yeah, no. It came with you. Is that's what my brain says.
I wonder why it didn't go with the people that left.
Exactly.
Maybe it was like, oh, I had my fun already with these people.
Yeah, or they were no fun. I don't know. That's what's frustrating.
I hate it.
What do you do?
Honestly, at that point, I just choose death.
No, you know what I would do? I would do all those things, and I would vlog every second of it. I would vlog every second of it. I would live stream. I would show everyone.
She's like, at least I'm going to get rich.
Because one, I will try to make as much money before I die and give it to my kids.
Yeah.
And then two, like I would just need, I think even more importantly, I would just need some kind of validation of people saying like, we see this too. You're not going crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel like the more people I could get on my side to be like, weird things are happening to you, the better.
Well, there's that whole side of TikTok where people post.
Yeah, I can't watch it.
Screen recordings. No, every time I see that it's a screen recording of like a room at night, I'm like, bye. Yeah. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
But, oh, God, yeah.
Oof.
Terrifying.
Even like the other day, I had a party at my house and I was talking about our October series. And one of my friends was telling me that she used to work at this like salon, like not scary, just like a normal salon. It was her 9 to 5. And she came in one morning and the iPad that they used to like check people in was like flat on the floor. And she thought it was so weird. And something about it just made her like, that's not right. Like she couldn't figure out what could have caused that. So she called someone to look through the security footage. So they sent her a screen recording and she showed it to me because she still had it. So we're at the party, me and her like in the corner and she's showing me like this recording of a down angle of her work desk. There were 2 computers and then 2 iPads laying flat, like securely laying flat, plugged in, being charged on like the table. And then as she like scrolled through the timeline to kind of speed up time, you see the iPad just kind of like slowly jut out.
No.
And then a second later it falls like to the ground. There's not a person in sight. It was the weirdest thing. It gave me full body chills. And it was at a freaking salon. Like it wasn't like a haunted house or like something freaky happening.
Ew.
Isn't that bizarre?
No, I hate it.
I hate that.
I hate it.
I hate that.
I hate it.
I should have had her write that in.
Well, too late. You just
the
told
only thing
us.
is there's like no real like ending to it.
Yeah.
But I remember being like, I'm unwell. That's so scary.
That's terrifying.
Like it, like that's what's bad when you're in Target and weird happening. Like it's like, how do you get away from this stuff?
No.
Anyways, great story. Thank you so much for the photos. If you guys are ever able to add photos, please add the photos.
Yes.
Just do it. Know that our answer is yes, add the photos.
Absolutely. Today's episode is brought to you by Casetify. I don't know about you guys, but I am the queen of dropping my phone, and I have shattered many a screen.
Many a screen.
But you know what?
Many a phone.
I haven't since I started using Casetify.
No, you haven't.
And that's on live. So if you're like me and you have been searching for the perfect case that's not ugly and bulky, but adds protection, sustainability, and style, Casetify has got you covered.
Engineered with EchoShock, Casetify's latest protection tech, their newest iPhone 14 Impact series is 20% more protective and just as slim. Their cases are optimized for protection up to 11.5 feet at 5 times the military standard, withstanding drops of 130 times. But it's not just about protection. They've got a large range of prints and designs created by their diverse community of artists so that there's something for everyone. You can also design your own customized cases, so the options are truly endless. I've made my own case before. It is so much fun. It's like DIYing your case. You can layer stickers, you can pick out different colors. It is so much fun. With a strong built-in magnet, the cases are also MagSafe compatible and attaches seamlessly to any MagSafe item. And they're sustainable as well. Their cases are developed from 65% recycled and plant-based materials, as well as being partially made from upcycled phone cases through their Casetify program.
Get one of the most protective, cool-looking, and environmentally friendly phone cases the internet has to offer. Get 15% off by using our code 15ADVICE. That's 15ADVICE. That's 15% off at casetify.com with code 15ADVICE or use the link in the description.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and get into mine. You ready?
Like, yes.
Like, yes, but like, no.
Like, yes, but also, like, I need a second. No, I'm just kidding.
Prepare yourself because we're going in.
I'm ready.
Hi, Ashley and Taryne. I'm such a big fan of your Halloween series. I've re-listened to it 3 times this year.
Wow.
Dang. A diehard.
A diehard.
It's the best fix when I'm craving fall and Halloween. Anyways, I was listening to it this week and I realized that I needed to get my dad to write up one of his stories and send it to you guys. So after begging and then a little persuading with a 6-pack of beef that I finally got him to write this up.
Wait, 6-pack of beef?
Of beef. I bet she meant beer. I'm going to go ahead and assume that it's beer.
What would that even look like? A 6-pack of beef?
6 fillets.
Look, are you coming to the barbecue? You bring a 6-pack of beef?
6-pack of beef.
I'm dead. Okay.
Finally got him to write this up. So without further ado, ...
Eek.
The shadow at the end of my bed.
Ah, crap. I hate it already.
And here we go. I was about 7 years old. Oh, so wait, before I get into it, remember, this is her dad writing. So this is no longer her.
Oh,
She got her dad to write his story. So now this is
So now
her
he's
dad.
saying he was 7
He's
years
writing,
old.
yes.
Okay.
If you're imagining this, pretend a male is speaking.
Pretend.
Okay, here we go. I was about 7 years old, and my parents had just moved us back to Liverpool, England, after spending a year and a half in the States. The house my mom and her brother Bill lived in when they were younger was for sale, so my parents bought it. It was a 3-story house on a road named Phoenix Drive. There wasn't anything scary about the house or the neighborhood. Everything looked normal. My younger brother and I shared a room on the 3rd floor, and my 2 older brothers and my parents were in the 3 bedrooms on the 2nd floor. We had been living in the house for about a month when one night I woke up and saw the perfect shadow of a man standing at the end of my bed. I screamed, started crying, and felt paralyzed in fear. My parents heard me and came running into my room. When they turned on the light, the shadow was gone. My mom told me everything would be okay and consoled me back to sleep. The next night, I woke up again in the middle of the night, and again there was the perfect shadow of a man standing at the end of my bed. I screamed, cried, and my parents came running again. This happened every night for the 1.5 years that we lived in this house. But after a few weeks, I eventually stopped screaming and crying because I knew the shadow wasn't going away. I would wake up at night, and there it was. A tall, broad shadow that didn't move and stood directly at the end of my bed. My brother never woke up. He never saw it, and neither did my parents. I never got comfortable with it. It always scared me, and every night when I inevitably woke up, I would wish it wasn't there, but it always was. Ugh. Eventually, my parents decided they wanted to come back to California, so we packed everything up and came back to the States. I was excited to get out of that house and hopefully leave that terrifying shadow on the other side of the Atlantic. We were in California for about a year when my parents decided they wanted to move back to England. These people move a lot.
Give this market a break, too.
Yeah. For perspective, I moved back and forth from California and England about 6 times growing up because my parents couldn't decide where they wanted to live.
Oh my gosh.
When I heard the news that we were going back to England, I went to my mom and told her that I did not want to go back to the Phoenix Drive house. She asked why, and I told her that I didn't want to see the same shadow anymore and that it truly terrified me. My mom began asking questions about what I saw and admitted that she had forgotten about it because I had stopped screaming and crying after a few weeks. I told her I stopped screaming because I realized nothing was going to change. The shadow wasn't going anywhere. She then sat me down and told me about how her family had lived in that house when they were growing up. My mom explained that her older brother, Bill, had fought in World War II. And when he came home, he was more on edge and very uncomfortable in the bedroom on the 3rd floor.
His room?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
She said that Bill once told a story about his experience in World War II and explained that there was an incident where a weapon was about to backfire and kill him, but someone came, pushed him out of the way, and then said, "You'll never see me again." Bill said he couldn't see the man's face, and in a haze, he could only make out the silhouette of the man who saved him. When Bill eventually came back home to the house on Phoenix Drive, he took the room on the 3rd floor. My mom said he would often come downstairs and ask if anybody saw weird shadows at night in the house, and when everyone else answered no, he would tell them that he would often wake up to a shadow standing at the end of his bed.
Why is this mother just now telling?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, this kid's been through so much and you're just now.
There's a clear and obvious connection.
I would be so pissed.
Yeah. The weird thing was that he mentioned he couldn't remember there being a shadow in the room prior to him going to war. My mom said the family brushed it off as Bill mentally dealing with having returned from war. They eventually moved out of the house, and many years later, we moved in. My mom said that when I began waking up every night screaming about the shadow, it confirmed what Bill had been saying. She then assured me that we wouldn't be going back to Phoenix Drive. I would occasionally think about this growing up throughout my life, and I have to admit that there was always a dread when I would wake up in the middle of the night and look towards the end of my bed, followed by relief when I realized there was nothing there. Many years later, I'm married with kids at this point. I was at home in California and working under my truck. I was positioned underneath my truck that I had lowered it, so it needed to be jacked up for me to be able to fit underneath it. As I was working, I heard the jack start to give out, so I started to push myself out from under it. I got about halfway when the floor jack fully gave out and the truck was now resting on top of my lower body. I yelled for my wife, and as I turned my head towards the garage door waiting for her to come outside, it felt like the pressure of the truck had decreased just slightly. And from underneath the truck, I could see 2 shadowed feet standing on the other side of my truck. Eventually, my wife and neighbor came outside and were able to jack the truck back up. But during that time that it took for them to do that, the pressure I had felt was relief, and the shadowed feet never left. I don't know what it was at the end of my bed. I don't know if it was the man who saved my uncle's life or if anyone else other than my uncle and I had seen it. But I know those shadowed feet belong to the same shadow I would see every night at the end of my bed. And for the first time, I felt comfort that they were there. Maybe I'll hear this story read on the podcast this year. If not, it was still so cool to finally get my dad to write this down. Have a great spooky season, Stephanie.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it was off. It was obviously like a protector spirit.
Something, possibly the soldier, was protecting his Uncle Bill and then was just standing there waiting around, apparently, to protect Stephanie's dad.
Interesting. But it went with him, obviously.
Yeah. Like, it clearly moved from the Phoenix house to California with him. He's now older, married. An incident happens, and then the shadow reappears.
Wow.
What was crazy was how, like, he said he like recognized the shoes. Like, he recognized the shadow, even though it had been years.
Well, also it's probably just like because a lot of like supernatural stuff, people say they like feel like it's like a sense you
It's
get.
so obvious. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts. See, I like those type of stories more than
Yeah.
the push you down the stairs
Or the gets the house struck by lightning.
Yeah,
kind.
I would like if there is a ghost, I would like them to be, lifting cars off of me.
Yeah, like I like this is obviously it's still scary in the moment. I would hate for that to happen to me, but there's some kind of like logic and greater purpose that it feels is there.
Yeah.
Whereas when it's just to be menacing, that's when it's like, get me out of here. I can't be here.
Literally. Wow, that one had me like glued in the whole time.
Also, Stephanie, tell your dad he's a fantastic writer.
Yeah.
He did a really great job. I loved all the details. Wow. That was a good one.
That was nuts. Dude, this stuff, I never know how I feel. We'll see how this all settles in tonight
sleep?
When I'm alone in bed. See, the key is you never look.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say about your story. When the mom heard stuff upstairs and like went to look, I would never.
Yeah.
I mean, I would, if I heard, because what's crazy about your story was they said the movement sounded like people were rearranging furniture. So that's a lot of noise, right?
Yes.
You were talking about furniture. I'm picturing couch being dragged across the floor.
Yeah.
Or like a bookcase being shoved. Like that's a lot of noise. So if they're hearing that, if she's hearing that and she's home alone, gone.
Yeah.
I'd come back later with friends and be like, or I would at least like stand outside in the street watching the house to see if anyone leaves, calling the cops, calling my husband, calling my friends and family to come and like go through the attic with me. I would never go up there alone.
No, absolutely not.
Never.
Absolutely not.
I need at least two people, someone with a phone readily available and a big guy. Like someone doing the call, the emergency call, and someone ready to like,
absolutely.
I couldn't do it alone.
No, absolutely not. There's no way.
So I'm tired.
Again, dude, why do we do this to ourselves?
But you guys really
You better freaking enjoy this. That's all I have
you guys have just been showing so much support and love for this series. It means so much to us. So we're going to keep powering through. But, if anyone wants to send like some melatonin.
Literally.
Some sleepy time tea.
Just knock me out. So I don't know. Even if I'm getting dragged across the floor, at least I'll be like
pleasantly
good
out.
night.
Yeah. I'm going to start like drinking my sleepy time tea like hours before bed so that I'm just
as soon as
asleep.
it starts turning from like light to dark.
Yeah, the second the sun starts setting,
Bye.
blinds are down, alarm is on, and I'm sipping my sleepy time tea.
Good night.
Watching a Disney movie.
Absolutely.
Because gotta shake this stuff off.
Absolutely.
That's what you gotta do. But thank you guys so much for sending in these stories.
Yes.
They were excellent, so well written. Again, just a friendly reminder, we have merch available. Go check it out. It is not too late to send in a scary story. So if you have been sitting on one or you know someone who has one, do like Stephanie. Get them to write it down because it's worth it and it's for us. And it's for the UA family. for our entertainment.
For our trauma and entertainment.
So thank you guys so much for listening.
Ash,
I've been waiting. I've been waiting for you to jump in.
Stop.
Don't.
Stop it.
Don't.
I don't know if I've read this one before. Oh no, is this going to be my first repeat?
Uh-oh.
Guys, it's harder with Halloween jokes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Why are graveyards so loud?
Graveyard, grave. Bones, dead.
Grave bones.
Skeleton, bodies.
Ashley's
Caskets.
guesses are the best. Because of all the coffin.
Have
I said that before?
I don't think so. That was good.
I hope I did it.
Guys, if you made it to the dad joke, you already know we love you the mostest. Please send Taryne some Halloween dad jokes.
Wait. Can I say another one?
Sure.
This is so good. Okay,
Imagine I said no and just made her stop.
Why can't male ghosts have babies?
I don't know.
Because they have Halloweenies.
That's good.
Halloweenies.
I really got Taryne.
Oh, shoot, that's funny.
That's hilarious. Well, I already said my part.
Okay, bye.
Thanks so much for watching. Love you. Bye.
Bye.